Hello everybody and welcome back after one of the longest breaks I've ever had to have. This is AOR Hype Energy League, PS3, F3 and my name is Kieran McGinley. Welcome back after a fortnight without any racing. It is absolutely fantastic to be back in the commentary box. Unfortunately Evil and his mic are not good friends at the minute, so hopefully he can get that sorted very soon. In the meantime though, he will be our roving reporter in that chat there, bringing us any strategy details or any battles I'm missing out on. Hopefully that will go down a treat. What's happened so far? Well, as far as I can see right now, I'm trying to upload the thumbnail, which as we know is the most tedious part because my computer actually has to do something, which is always annoying. But let's talk more about the track. Obviously the first race in 2016, it's always provided a fantastic spectacle in real F1, and that's no different when it comes to league racing. Of course you've got the infamous Turn 8 Castle section, which catches out many a driver. It's caught me out, it's caught many other drivers out too, and it's one of those tracks where it might not be the greatest thing in the world to watch, which it is though. It's great. But as to drive, it's perilous, it's dangerous, the walls are very close, especially going through Turn 8, but it's one of those rewarding tracks that really opens up for you as soon as you get the absolute optimum setup. I for one am looking forward to covering this one, and I hope you are too. We're looking at the league tables then. So 2 wins on the trot for Demon puts him at the top of the table with 54 points. Sergey is in second. He's had 1 win this season, the opening round. He's on 47 points. Pitmat is in third with a second place finish at the start of the season. He's on 36 points. Griggs has had back-to-back podiums, 2 third places in his last 2 races, puts him on 30 points. The Mighty Bucket scoring a podium last time out. He's on 26 points. Dan has retired this season already, but whenever he's finished quite high up in the points. He's on 22 points right now. F1 Dan also on 20 points, tied with Sean, I think that is. I think so. But yeah, looking down the table, we've got Mikkel Sorensen, also known as, wait for it, I Go Champ. You tell me, Mikkel, do you want to be known as Sorensen or I Go Champ? I don't mind either way. I normally go by gamertag, but I'm happy to change my way. Alex Shield, who is who finds himself in 10th place there. He scored a podium in the opening round, but hasn't scored any points since, with 15 points there. Elite Game Boy with an 8th and 7th place. He's in 11th place in the standings on 10 points. Roadhouse in 12th. He scored 4 points. Nexus scoring his one and only point this season in the last round at China on 1 point. We have Solid Ninja Snake, Lakitu, Jamie James, Manolo, Chinchilla Man, Jack Lacey and Paris, all yet to score a point this season. So obviously welcome to the stream. Hope you're all doing very well on this lovely Sunday evening. If you're in England, it's very cold. It's pretty much the first full weekend where the clocks have gone back and it's horrible, it's miserable, but winter's on the way. If I was a savvy Game of Thrones fan, I'd probably say winter is coming, but I'm not allowed to because I've never watched it. What can you do though? At least though we can enjoy some absolutely fantastic racing with no F1 this weekend to get in the way of AOR F3. We can absolutely we can have a very good time. As always, I'll try and keep in the chat, in and around it anyway, to see what you guys are saying, and I will do my best to keep on top of the chat. In the meantime though, if you have any questions, of course, give me a shout in the comments. You guys can get involved. You can try and tell me who's going to win the race if you really want to, but it's Baku. I wouldn't put any money on a win. It's one of those races that can really throw up a really unexpected result. So it's going to be a good race, I think. We've got 16 drivers so far. I believe we're waiting for just a couple more, so it won't be too long now before we get started into the F3 league. And yeah, we have a look at the Baku track now. It's just over 6 kilometres, 6.003 kilometres to be exact. And the track record here, Sebastian Vettel 2017, 143.441. We have 26 laps around the Azerbaijan circuit, and we'll be covering around about 153 kilometres in the game. So a lot to play for then as we head down there. It's a long track, full with twists and turns and 90-degree corners. You've of course got the DRS zone down the long start-finish straight that starts in turn 20, and just before the speed trap is where you can open it down towards turn 1. The second DRS zone out of turn 2 as you head down towards turn 3. That's the second DRS zone, and then there are quite a few 90-degree corners. If you're counting along at home, have a guess to see how many 90-degree corners you actually have on the calendar. I'm looking at it now. There's quite a few. I'd say there's 9 or 10, depending on if you count turn 15 as a right angle, but it's not quite, because it's got that massive curve there on the left-hand side, which sort of prevents you from attacking it. When I've been racing, I've always sort of looked at it with a bit of optimism towards Baku. It's always one of those circuits where you can try and take advantage, and you know, if you're able to get the result, it's normally at Baku where you can score some points, or maybe even the podium. I never won at Baku. I've never won a race. That's probably why I'm in the commentary box. I figured that out a long time ago. But yeah, hopefully Baku treats us to an absolutely fantastic race. Of course, a street circuit is not a street circuit unless the walls are as close as possible. Obviously it's the newest street circuit on the calendar, joining Monaco, Melbourne and Singapore, to name a few on the calendar. And the safety car has always played a part in real life. I wonder if it will play a part in tonight's race. Of course, we have had the update 1.14 to the game, and that has sort of looked at the safety car when it's deployed, how it's deployed, and it assesses a different scenario each time. So we should have more of a chance of a safety car than we have had before. Whether we'll see it here at Baku is entirely up to the virtual race control, the virtual Charlie Whiting. Let's see what he's going to say about it. But yeah, if you can nail a lap around the Baku City Street Circuit, you're halfway there. Track position is really important, and getting that balance right between low downforce and of course cornering speed is always tricky. But actually, when you think about it, there aren't actually many high-speed corners. You've got the complex section of 17, 18, 19 and arguably 20 where you need that downforce. However, for the rest of the circuit, it's normally low-speed right-angle corners. So it's really finding that balance between getting the speed down the long 1.2 kilometre straight that's not a straight to maximise that top speed. And of course getting that balance between turns 17, 18, 19 and 20, because the last thing you want is to find yourself in that left hand side wall on the exit of turn 19 with the front left tyre off and your race ended. That's not what you want. And well, we'll see if anybody is caught out by that infamous turn 8 section. And I wonder who is going to take pole position for this one. 4 races in though. We have had a really good season so far. Obviously we can only apologise for F3 not being here last time out in China. There were some issues for Evil and myself. We couldn't make it, unfortunately. However, I'm here tonight bringing you the action, and hopefully the stream is okay. The stream is healthy, and hopefully we are good to go. So as I'm getting everything set up on the computer, I got the map up, I've got the chat up, and now we're going to see if we can get qualifying up. So let's have a look at some of the details then. As you can see, everyone right now thinking on that ultra soft strategy, and yeah, I think when you're talking strategy at Baku, you're really wanting that one stop. Tyre wear isn't as high as you think it would be. However, the tyre wear does start to take into effect, especially towards the end of the of your stint there. We'll have a look and see who is out there right now. So I believe Solid Ninja Snake is the first car out on track here. And also let me know how you like your display. Do you like it with the telemetry here, with the gears and everything? It is a quite nice feature, but I reckon it's only a nice feature when it's on board. I don't know, I don't like it like that. However, it's entirely up to you how you have it. Of course, you are watching the stream, so you can have it however you like. Solid Ninja Snake then braking towards turn 7 here, ready for that infamous turn 8 section. Chuck the car in and hopefully it sticks, and yes, for Solid Ninja Snake it does. The difference around this track between a controller and a wheel is very, very noticeable, especially through that tight, twisty section after the castle section. You've really got to get that right if you're on a controller. You really have to be so precise on the controls. But as we now head down the hill with Solid Ninja Snake towards turn 16, and then it's this high-speed section, and as we head through now the right-hander, then the left-hander of turn 18, through the right-hander of turn 19, hopefully that car sticks to the track through that slight kink of turn 20, and it's keeping the steering wheel straight for as long as possible. DRS open for Solid Ninja Snake, the McLaren Renault driver, heading towards the line to start the first lap, and Lakitu has already retired from the session. So Lakitu will not be setting a lap in this qualifying. He might find himself towards the back of the grid then. Solid Ninja Snake trying to drive his way towards turn 3. And there's a lot of lap here, which of course is straight line speed, but then you've got to hope that you've set the car right to turn into these right angles. Look how close Solid Ninja Snake came there to the wall on turn 3 there. That was immensely close, playing very fine margins then as we head through this chicane section of turn 5 and 6. Then we head down this little straight here where the track sort of overlaps each other. You come head on with all the other cars as we head towards now turn 7. Very easy to be too greedy with that curve on the right hand side, then into the infamous castle section. Up the hill we go, the sun in your eyes. Very difficult to see the braking point sometimes, especially in the race, as we now head through turns 13, then through 14, hoping that the car grips to the track as we now head down towards turn 15. It's downhill as the braking zone starts. You don't want to be too greedy on that left hand side curve. It can send you straight into the wall on the exit of turn 15 on the outside there. Now into turn 16, chuck the car in. Don't be too greedy on the curb on the inside or the outside. It can cost you time there. Solid Ninja Snake then flying through turn 18, then through turn 19. Fantastic to see as he goes down the long straight now through turn 20. DRS will be open now as he now heads towards the line now. Just keep that steering wheel straight as much as possible. 344 kilometers per hour as he crosses the line. It's a 138.3 from Solid Ninja Snake, and he sets the benchmark for the session. Down the Snake there, 141.4. He set those on ultra soft tyres. Let's see who else we've got here. We've got Jake here in the Alfa Romeo Sauber. As he heads towards the line here, he is on a flying lap and he puts himself up into P2, 139.7 from Jake there, as he then goes really deep into turn 1 to get out of the way of any of the cars. Demon there, top of the table right now, he set a 149.1 and puts himself into P4 for now. Still a long way to go in qualifying, of course. Roadhouse, oh, that's what I was talking about. Getting too greedy on the inside curb there, and he's clipped the wall. And that's going to hurt him through this high-speed section, and I think he's going to have to abandon that lap. Yeah, as you can see there, the ERS has gone down to 0, and he's going to cruise back to the pit lane and hopefully get a new front wing. Pit mat there goes P4, 142.3, and at this point it's banker laps, I would say. 140.2 from Sean sets him into P3 for now. And we have the mighty bucket here, heading towards that infamous castle section And you're sort of braking just before that 50-metre wall there. That was very close to that right-hand side wall of the castle section, but the limits are so fine here, especially through that section. If you don't push, you're not going to get the maximum out of your lap time. There's yellow flags up ahead, and that's a car into the wall there. That was Jamie James. Jamie James lost it completely there. But it's not going to affect Mighty Bucket then, as he heads down towards turn 16. And on the exit there, a little bit of a loss of back end. That might have been a little bit of lag there. And here he goes then, Mighty Bucket just trying to fly through. Let's have a look at the KPH in the bottom right hand corner, and let's see how far it goes up. And no, he backs out of it. So the Mighty Bucket backs out of his lap then. So will he go and dive into the pits? No, he won't. He'll carry on. I'm not quite sure what the Mighty Bucket's doing there, but he set a 139.9 and he slowed down halfway down the straight, so maybe he backed out of that one because he didn't want to start on the ultra soft tyres. Maybe he thinks he can set a faster time on the super softs. Chrome Nexus there, 142.0. We've also got Elite Game Boy there, set a 138.5, exactly 2 tenths down on current pole sitter Solid Ninja Snake. We've got Griggs here on the ultra soft tyres, ready for his first lap of the session then, as he heads towards turn 3. Looking to try and get that curb. You don't want to try and clip that curb too much, as Griggs clips the wall on the outside there. As we head into turn 4, it's all about keeping that composure, keeping that car nice and balanced throughout the lap, as we now head towards turn 5 and then through turn 6, keeping that car nice and tidy. And as we head towards turn 7 there, braking just about before the 50-metre board, about 75 metres away from the corner. You can see Griggs there trying to fight the car. This car does not really want to stay in a straight line for too long. It wants to kick the tail out, so that may not be a great setup to have. It might be a good quali setup, but not a good race setup if he wants to look after those rear tyres though. As he heads now, it will be down the hill towards turn 16, braking hard then, clipping that curb on the inside. Well, he took quite a bit of curb there, Griggs, and the car seemed very okay with it, so that's a good setup for the curbs then. He's able to attack them with some menace as we now head through this high speed section now, and we'll see that KPH rise and rise. It always does here at Baku, and you can see that battery deplete further and further. It's not going to be quite the 340 kilometers an hour we saw, but Griggs decides to abandon the lap, so he wasn't happy with it and decides to abandon the lap. We're going to jump on board with the OG, as I believe he's on a flying lap right now then, as we now head towards 5 and 6 there. Got to be really careful on those curbs. You can easily lose the back end there as we head up towards turn 7. And you're not really climbing the hill until you get to the castle section. It's pretty flat before then. Here we go, then chuck the car in, and you can see there the sun in the eyes. A little bit of lock up there you heard there from the OG, but he kept the car under control at least. And we now head once again through 13, 14, and then down the hill towards turn 15. Can he get that braking zone right? Clips that wall a little bit on the outside just as he enters the turn. That's going to cost him a tenth or two as we now head down the hill towards turn 16. And you've got to be careful on that outside curb. You can take it, but a little bit too much throttle and you'll send the car spinning. Here goes the OG then. Look at that KPH. Let's see if we can roughly compare speed traps here. We saw a Solid Ninja Snake able to push 344, but the OG decides to abandon his lap too. So no one really happy with their laps at the moment. Every time we ride on board with someone, they seem to want to enter the pits again, but never mind. Alex Musica there is having real trouble staying in the lobby, which is unfortunate to see. And the longer it takes for him to set a lap time, well, the less time he'll have, and the more chance he's going to start at the back of the grid. It could end up as a DSC in the race, so we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. 8 minutes and 20 seconds to go though. Dan the Snake, who's currently on a set of super soft tyres, he set his best lap on a set of ultra softs, so maybe for a lot of these drivers they decided to back out down that long straight and see if they can put on a set of super soft tyres. You can see there Jake in P3, Elite Game Boy in P2 wanted to try the same thing, see if they can go slightly quicker, as Dan the Snake will try a similar strategy. Be interested to see if they can make that last then. The ultra soft tyre is pretty good tyre around Baku. It can last longer than you think. And Pirelli in the past have been pretty conservative about Baku, and it's allowed the tyres to stay, whilst they don't have the peak performance that others do. As Solid Ninja Snake goes even faster by only a couple of hundredths. And you can see there, Demon there, I believe that is his teammate as well, yes. As a little bit of toe there. As now down the Snake pulls to that right hand side, you can see now kilometres an hour, 345, 346 as he heads down the straight. It's 138.1 on a set of super soft tyres, and the teammates work together. And down the Snake is on pole position on the super soft tyres. That was incredible teamwork from the two. And he's got to look after those tyres now as he heads back towards the pit lane. Here comes Jake then in the Alfa Romeo Sauber, heading down the long straight. There's the detection point, and any moment there you can see just in the distance the DRS zone opens wide as we head down the straight. You can see there 345, 346, that's without the slipstream there. Can Jake go any quicker? He can, but it holds him into P3, I think. I think that was the case. Oh no, Jake's jumped up to P3, my apologies. 138.4 from Jake, and again that's on a set of super soft tyres, so a lot of these drivers then thinking super soft is the way to go. And lots of cars in the pits at the minute, but as you can see, you've got Sean here on a set of ultra softs trying to push the car as hard as he possibly can. That car number 61 now heading towards turns 5 and 6. It's a great camera angle, this one. Just shows you how delicate you have to be on the throttle, as Demon there of the ultra softs has set a 149.1, and well, I'm not sure who's calculating the 107% time, but that looks a little bit outside it, but that's not true representative pace from Demon, and don't be surprised to see him later on get a set of super soft tyres on. Meanwhile then Sean heading down towards turn 16, making sure not to lock up the car there. A little bit of a loss of back end there. That's what happens if you're just a little bit too greedy on the inside curb there. And here we go then through this high speed section. That used to be a curb there on the right hander in F1 2017. It's completely flat track now, as now this is Shawnee. He'll have the DRS any moment now. He's got to keep that steering wheel straight as possible, as that KPH rises and rises. 344, 345, and Shawnee B goes top of the table, 137.6, and it puts him at the top of the table. He is on the ultra soft tyres, so that is to be expected, but he's top of the table at the moment. And I wonder if the drivers on a set of super softs are just sort of playing the longer game. They're willing to sacrifice their qualifying to get a better race, and well, in a race that is got safety car written all over it, especially with turn 8, that could come back to bite the super soft runners in the long run, but it all depends if there is a safety car or not. Chrome Nexus then coming around turn 16, aggressive on the curbs there. He's got the car to do it in car 99. Of course that used to be the number of I believe Adrian Sutil, unless anyone could correct me, unless he was 98. But here comes Cronexus down the long straight then. And what sort of time can he set here? You can see that steering wheel is as straight as it possibly can be as he heads towards the line. And it's a 143.1. He goes slower than his previous lap time. So he's got to do that all over again. Elite Game Boy has had points finishes this season, but he'll really want a good result here at Baku. And you can see him just try and be direct with the car then as he heads towards the next couple of corners. We ride on board with him then as he heads towards 14 and 15, then down the hill towards turn 16. And he's just got to be careful on that curb then. A little bit of a lock up there, and he's missed the apex of the corner there, and that's going to cost him a little bit of time there as we head now down towards turn 16. And then through he goes, and I think Elite Game Boy will know he's missed the apex there, but will he keep pushing? He's on a 138.5 at the moment, and you can see him, well, it looks like he's still pushing anyway, just from that shot there. Riding on board with him then, and this is where the DRS comes into full effect here, and the full KPH is unleashed, and you can see there 1.6 seconds down Elite Game Boy, but his best lap time was set on a set of ultra soft tyres. So maybe he's gambled and rolled the dice wrong there. But we still have a long way to go in the session. 2 minutes is still a long time, as Demon now heading down the straight on his outlap. And we'll have to wait and see what he can do. 1:49.1 at the moment, but he's capable of much better than, of course, that was the banker lap that he set on the ultra softs. As that is Chrome next. They're jumping up into P4, 138.4. Here comes the OG towards the line. He puts himself up into P3, 138.2. on a set of super soft tyres. We've got a load of cars leaving the pits now, and one of them is Solid Ninja Snake. In fact, no, it's not. Forget me, I'm talking nonsense. Solid Ninja Snake is on his outlap, and interestingly though, he's gone for the set of ultra soft tyres. He wants pole position here as he heads towards turn 16, trying to leave himself a little bit of a gap here. And well, he's pretty early for the last of the runners, but he might make it to the line. Will he, I wonder? Actually, no, he's not. He's not going to make it to the line with enough time to have 2 laps. So this is it then. This is his one and only chance to try and take back pole position. Solid Ninja Snake then, 3:45. Can he reach 3:46? Yes, he can. 3:46 into the braking zone then. Running a little bit of a lower aero setup then as he heads towards turn 2. Let's see how he handles this. Clipping that curb then. You've got to be careful of the oversteer if you clip that curb. And have to wait and see how much that affects him as we head now down towards turn 3. Elite Game Boy is retired from the session, so he can finish no higher than 7th in this qualifying session. Here we go then towards turn 4, and apparently being told to move on to Griggs here, but he's on the super soft tyres. Hasn't set a lap yet, neither is the Roadhouse or Sergey, and Sergey's still in the pits, so well, he will not be setting a lap time today. And you got Solid Ninja Snake then coming towards that infamous turn 8 section. That has caught so many drivers out in practice. Sergey has retired, so he realises he's not going to make it, and retires from the session. 4 retirements so far in this session. 2 of them have been for, I can assume, crashes here. 20 seconds to go then, and the OG will not be taking any further part in qualifying. As you can see, he's in the pit, so no higher than 3rd from him. He's got to hope now that he can stay in the top 10. So here comes Solid Ninja Snake, one of the first to set a lap time. In this final stint then, he'll come towards the line. Can he get provisional pole position then? Heading towards the line. It feels like such an age to get there. But what will be the lap time here as he crosses the line now? And it's only P2, 137.9. He can't beat Shawnee B just yet. We've got the Roadhouse here now in the other McLaren, making his way towards the line then. Hasn't set a lap time in the entirety of qualifying. Now is his one and only chance as he jumps up the gear there quite late on in the revs here as we head into the DRS zone now. What can this McLaren Renault driver do of the Roadhouse? It's P10, 139.3 from the McLaren Renault driver. We've got Demon there. We've also got Jake keeping an eye on Dan the Snake as well as Shawnee B. So Dan the Snake looks like he's going to be the first to cross that start-finish line. Can he be the one to grab pole position? It's a long time to grab. It's half a second. No, he backs out of it. So let's see who else we've got. We've got Jake here, currently P6 as he's heading towards the line now. Demon right behind him. No, he's jumped into the pits then. So Demon can't improve. Jake can't improve either. They're all coming into the pits. They're all abandoning their laps then. Can Griggs then? He's got to set a lap time. Otherwise he's starting P14. He's got to head towards the line now. Here he comes then towards that start-finish line. Looks like he's going to be the last one to set a lap time. And he goes P10. Knocks IGO Champ out of the top 10. And the Mighty Bucket here is the last one. And he jumps up to P6. Shaved 1.6 seconds off that best lap time, and he puts himself onto the 3rd row. So that looks like qualifying is over with drivers in the pits. Shawnee and Demon there. Demon, I believe, abandoned the lap, so he's starting P9 then on those tyres. But he will be starting on a set of super soft, and this is the interesting part now. Let's have a look at the best tyres they set their lap on. And as you can see, only 3 of the top 10 set their best lap time on a set of ultra soft tyres. That was Shawnee B, Solid Ninja Snake, and Elite Game Boy. So will that hurt or hinder them? Those are the same thing, Kieran. Will that benefit them or hurt them? Well, Shawnee won't care. He's got pole position for the F3 race here at Azerbaijan. So then, as we await the qualifying results then, there they are. So Shawnee B takes pole position at Baku. Solid Ninja Snake second, Dan the Snake in third, the OG in fourth, Pitmat in fifth, the Mighty Bucket in sixth, Cronexus seventh, Jake in eighth, Demon in ninth, Gameboy in 10th, Griggs in 11th, Igo Champ 12th, the Roadhouse in 13th, Lakitu, Sergey, Jammy James did not set a lap time. Well, Jake Taylor says Dan the Snake to win. Well, Dan the Snake starting P3 on the alternate strategy, those super soft tyres. We'll have to wait and see how they get on during the race. So it'll be very interesting to see. Morton there saying go go Igo Champ. Let's see the flags flying today. Who's going to be the race winner for this really interesting Azerbaijan Grand Prix? The top two on ultra soft tyres, everyone else behind them, apart from Elite Game Boy in P10, starting on the super soft tyre. Well, don't be scared or don't be surprised to see some of the back markers, as I reluctantly call them, go onto a set of soft tyres and try and benefit from the longer stint. So guys like Lakitu, who retired during qualifying, Sergey as well, don't be surprised to see them go onto a set of soft tyres to try and extend their first stint. So we'll see how it goes then, as we're just waiting now for everybody to join into the race and everybody to decide their strategy, how much fuel they're taking on board. It's a tense 30 seconds when you're having to adjust. The front wing, are you going to run more front wing for your first stint but less for the second stint? You're looking at a one stop here at Baku, regardless of whether you start on the ultra soft or the super soft tyres. So be an interesting one then. And I think we're in for a fantastic Baku and Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Of course, used to be called the European Grand Prix, but it was the European Grand Prix based in Asia. I have as much clue about that as you do. Anyway, let's have a look at the tyres then. And as you can see, both that looked like a McLaren colour to me. Roadhouse starting on the soft tyres, and well, I called it, Lakitu also starting on the soft tyres. Let's run through the order then on the outside of the top 10 so we get an idea of strategy. Griggs and Igo Champ they're both starting on a set of super soft tyres. Sergey in P15, he's starting on super softs as well, didn't set a lap time in qualifying. Jamie James as well, starting on a set of super soft tyres, and Alex Musica, who had trouble joining qualifying all session long, will be starting at the back of the grid, and he'll be starting on a set of super soft tyres. So then let's have your predictions then of your race winner. Jake Taylor looking for a podium today. He's starting, I'm assuming, in P8. So he'll have to get up 5 positions as he's warming up those rear tyres. Quite a treat there. But yeah, we'll see how Jake can get on in the race. Obviously, the majority of the top 10 starting on a set of super soft tyres is surreal to me. I've never really seen anything like it. But it'll be interesting to see Dan the Snake what his start will be like against Solid Ninja Snake and Shawnee. Obviously, these tyres have already been through a heat cycle of their qualifying lap. They've already been tested to the maximum. And it'll be interesting to see how much grip the Ultrasofts will have after the first opening laps. So who reckons there's going to be a safety car in this one? It's more likely to be a safety car than isn't. But we'll have to see. Lots of support for Dan the Snake tonight. He's starting on those super soft tyres, as we've said. It's maybe surreal strategy. But they are probably going for the one stop then, super soft onto soft tyres. You could get away with the ultra softs onto super softs when you get as far into the race as you possibly can. Ultra soft tyres will probably make you last around about 7 to 9 laps. The super softs can obviously last up until 11 or 12. It's not the tyre wear that catches you out here, it's the amount they drop off. It's very gradual, and then it's all of a sudden really old style tyre degradation at this circuit. So we'll have to wait and see how everything goes then. But here we are, lining up for what should be a brilliant Grand Prix. Tense moments here as we're here for the AOR Hype Energy League F3 race here in Azerbaijan. We're almost ready to go. It's 5 red lights. Round 4 is underway, and what are the starts like? Looks like Shawnee and Solid Ninja Snake have got good starts there, and it looks like Solid Ninja Snake has jumped Sean, and he has. Solid Ninja Snake takes the lead of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, and Sean just has to be careful here that he doesn't lose any positions. Here they come towards turn 2 then, and are there any incidents? Can they all keep it clean as we head through turn number 2 there? There's a little bit of bargy going on in the background. Let's have a look on board with Lakitu. Look at this. This is not a sight you want to see. Alex Musica has jumped all the way up to P11 from P17. What a start from him so far. They now head down towards turn 4, and that's the Ferrari running into the back of Force India there. That was Jamie James running into the back of one of the Force Indians there. I couldn't tell you who, but a little bit of missing his braking point there. Solid Ninja Snake though leads the way. Got a fantastic start off the grid from Shawnee B, who drops to 2nd place. Dan the Snake holds on to P3. The OG in 4th. Pitmat there in 5th. Mighty Bucket in 6th. Griggs in 7th. Jake in 8th. Elite Game Boy 9th. Cronex is 10th. That's your top 10 so far as we head towards that castle section. No yellow flags so far going into Sector 1, so it's a good sign. All the cars still facing the right way. They might have a little bit of damage. Jamie James has a little bit of front wing damage, but they're all really close here. Here's Igo Champ. We're riding on board with him, and he's chasing down Demon. Meanwhile, Griggs has made a move on the Mighty Bucket. Don't tell me he's made a move up the inside of turn 15 there. That's outrageous. Griggs there up into P6. Great start from him then, as he looks now to try and close the gap on Pitmat. Maybe he prioritised his race setup over his quali setup. As look at that there, the Red Bulls fighting over position. That's the Mighty Bucket and Elite Game Boy. It looks like Elite Game Boy, they're going to be 3 wide here, down this long straight then. Look at this here. It's a Red Bull sandwich with an Alfa Romeo Sauber, and that's one of the Red Bulls coming into the pits there. And that was Sean is into the pits. Sean is into the pits from 2nd place. Oh, the Red Bull loses the back end there. And that could be an invitation for Jake then. Will he try and move up the inside of turn 2? No, he won't. Stays behind for now. DRS not active yet, but you can see how close this field is right now. Griggs there going through your picture. He's in P5, and look how defensive Elite Game Boy's going here. Jake, will he try and move around the outside? No, he won't. But have a look at that Mercedes down the inside, and he might have just sacrificed his position. Oh, that was Alex Musica, and Cronex is coming very close there, but Alex Musica actually gets a position up there. Yellow flags in Sector 1. That's involving Shawnee B, is it? Yes, it is. Shawnee B might have missed his, he might have missed his braking point there, but he's now down to P16. He started on pole position. Igo Champ there, trying to battle away with Demon, and there's a safety car. The safety car's been deployed. Well, I said there might be an option of the safety car, but I'm not entirely sure why it's been called out. I think it was an overreaction to Shawnee there, but I can't exactly tell you why. But what does that mean for the super soft runners then? They wanted to go long in their stint, and well, Solid Ninja Snake opened up that gap to 3 seconds. So, safety car on lap 2 of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, and this will allow Solid Ninja Snake to take his ultra soft tyres a little bit further, but this is the last thing he wanted. He wanted to really get away from the field and really build up that gap towards his first stop, but that's not going to happen now. So will anyone pit in to change strategy now? I highly doubt it. Let's have a look on board with Solid Ninja Snake. What will he do? He'll stay out. He'll stay out on those ultra soft tyres then. Down the Snake is up into P2 with Shawnee B struggling there, but not over for Shawnee B, of course. With the safety car, it allows him to come back into the race, as well as Jamie James here. Griggs is into the pits then. Griggs is in. And this looks like a change of strategy. Yep, it's going on to some soft tyres. So the Ferrari then, going on to soft tyres, and maybe he's going to try and go to the end of the race then. That'd be an amazing feat if he can. Demon also going on to that strategy, and Sergey, will he make it a hat-trick of soft tyre runners in the pits on this lap? Yes, he does. So he changes over. So then, we'll have to keep an eye on Griggs and Demon there. And, oh no, Sergey onto a set of super softs tires. I thought I saw it flick over to softs, but obviously he chose super softs in the end. So lap 3 with the safety car out then. Solid Ninja Snake is your race leader at the moment. Dan the Snake in second, the OG in third, Pit Matt in fourth, Elite Game Boy fifth, Jake in sixth, Alex Musica seventh, Cronexus in eighth, Igo Champ in ninth, Lakitu in 10th, Roadhouse in 11th, Griggs in 12th there, Demon in 13th, Mighty Bucket 14th, Shawnee B 15th, Jamie James in 16th, Sergey in 17th. All 17 runners who started the race are still running. There's the safety car going through turn 8 there. Always great to see because the safety car's a little bit wider than the Formula 1 cars. I know it's hard to believe, but it is. And the virtual Bird Mylander getting some laps under his belt then. Of course, we will see in race control when that safety car will come in. And of course, the safety car lights turn off very late on into the lap. So we have to be aware of that. And here we then come towards turn 15, a lot slower than we'd like to. However, that safety car's still out there, and you can see them desperately trying to keep the tyres warm. It's a little bit hazy here. We've got to keep watching out for those skies. We might be seeing a little bit of rain, but I can't know for sure. I don't have any telemetry on the weather. But let's have a look at some of these details here. As you can see, Griggs downwards have stopped once. Everyone ahead of them have not stopped. Let's have a look at position change. Well, the biggest winner at the moment is Alex Musica. He started from P17, currently running in P7. That's a jump of 10 positions. And, well, the biggest loser so far is Shawnee. The two Williams are having really hot and cold races right now. But it is only lap 3, soon to be lap 4. And there's a long way to go. Baku is a long circuit. It's one of the most challenging circuits on the calendar. But as you can see, it's been a good race for most of them. Mighty Bucket is into the pits. And he will go, I believe... Where's he going then? As that was Solid Ninja Snake getting very close to the safety car then. Mighty Bucket then goes on to a set of soft tyres. So he now wants to go to the end of the race. Safety car here. So at the moment, we're sort of sitting around about 2-minute laps. So it's not ideal. But we still have... 23 laps to go in this race with the safety car deployed. I couldn't tell you exactly why. Maybe it was a bit of debris on the circuit and caused the safety car to come out, just like in real life. But, well, it's out now. And the drivers, all they have to do is simply respond to it. So as we see them now, still trying to get some heat into those tyres as they make their way down the opposite straight here. Great opportunity for any photos if you want to take them in this game. Is that section there. One of my favourite photos I've ever taken has been on that stretch there. As we see then the safety car make their way up the castle section for the third time in this safety car period. Or is it the second time? I've already lost count. It's the second time, isn't it? Ah well. Lap 4 then. Positions as they were, of course, with the safety car. Sean, no, is up to P14 with Mighty Bucket stopping. So Sean here has to knuckle down and get this result that he needs to get him higher up the table. We'll have a look at the table now, and Demon here, the championship leader, finds himself, well, P13. Safety car is in this lap. Well, we're going to go racing. So Solid Ninja Snake takes control of the pack then. He controls the pace right up until the safety car line. Now he can't go until the safety car is into the pits. So then he'll control that pace, warming up those tyres as he looks to try and get as much heat to them as possible. And here we go then. When will he go for it? We'll have a look at the telemetry here. You can see where he's limited to around about 40% throttle if he's going to do it. You can already see that ERS mode, and he's gone for it. He's bolted. Solid Ninja Snake goes for it. And you can see the Constantina that is caused by that. But as you can see here, Dan the Snake is right in the slipstream. He was very alert to the situation here. He could have a move down into turn 1. Tries to go down the inside then. Has he got the move done? I'm not quite sure because Dan the Snake hit the curb there. Oh, so there's a... I believe that was Jake in the background there going sideways. And, well, he's back the right way now, but look at this skirmish here as we head towards turn 2. It was a Sauber there, that's the words I was trying to get out, but Jake now falls to P11. Demon's a man on a mission here, and Lakitu there gets a 5-second stop-go penalty for ignoring yellow flag. Demon, championship leader, on a battle now, makes the move on the Roadhouse. He's now up into P9. Down the Snake had an opportunity to make the move up the inside, but clipped the curb on the inside of turn 1, and it sacrificed his exit, and he just couldn't go anywhere with it, so he stays behind Solid Ninja Snake for now. That was a really good opportunity for him to make that move up the inside, but he just couldn't work, and that's the Williams of Alex Musica there getting very sideways on the exit of turn 7. That's invited Jamie James to try and have a go and an opportunity to have a move, but of course not really seen into turn 7 as we head towards turn 8 then. And will turn 8 be claiming a victim today? And the sake of racing, I hope not. But lap 5 of this Grand Prix then, as we saw Lakitu there get a 5-second stop-go penalty for ignoring the yellow flags. As we're looking now for board Igo Champ, as he looks to try and chase down Elite Game Boy then. Coming around turn 16 then, and flying now down this twisty section into the DRS zone. They'll be going, and you can see Elite Game Boy there has got to be careful with that dirty air. And you can see there's the detection point. And look at this, Igo Champ might have to move before the DRS is even open. DRS open? Is it? I think it is. I can't quite tell. I can't quite tell if the slit is open or not. But Igo Champ goes up the inside of Elite Game Boy there. And Elite Game Boy didn't really have anything to fight with. Igo Champ up into P5. Next target is Pitmat. And Elite Game Boy on a set of ultra soft tyres. Now that's very interesting. Is Elite Game Boy starting to struggle with those tyres? Griggs meanwhile up into P7. As look at this now, Lakitu. Is he going to try and move down the inside into turn 3? Backs out of it, but that opens up an opportunity for Demon to try and go around the outside. It'll become the inside line for turn 4. Will he commit? Yes, he will. Tries to dive it down the inside. Is there a contact? No, there isn't. Oh, yes, there is. Forget what I said. Lakitu and Demon come together, and Demon's into the wall. Demon spun into the wall, and well, he's got a long way to go now. Championship leader down to P16 with front wing damage. Well, Lakitu there, I wonder if he's got any damage. I don't think he has, but now he's under serious pressure from Jake there as we head towards the castle section of turn 8. Meanwhile then, let's jump aboard with this battle here. This is Solid Ninja Snake trying to hold off down the Snake for as long as possible then. As we now head down towards turn 16. You can see there's Solid Ninja Snake locking up into turn 16 as now we head through this flying section. You can see the helicopter camera here of how close those top 5 actually are. It's incredible to see. And oh, that was a bit of a mistake there from Solid Ninja Snake. And I wonder if either of them have any damage. Does Solid Ninja Snake have damage? I think he does. He's slowing right down there. Well, what on earth happened there? Well, the OG has taken full advantage, and down the Snake, he wanted to take the race lead, is now under threat from the OG. Look at this now. Are they going to be 3 wide now? Coming towards turn 3. Pitmat is right up the inside. The OG has to back out of the move. We're riding on board with him then, as down the Snake does take the lead of the race. And the OG, who was battling for the lead of the race, now down to P3. But look at this battle here now for the lead of the race. 4 cars involved as we now head towards turn 3. They tuck in between each other, and down the Snake leads the race on lap 7. Pitmat in 2nd, OG 3rd, Igo Champ 4th, Griggs in 5th, Roadhouse 6th, Sergey 7th, Jamie James 8th, Alex Musica 9th, and Jake is in P10. That's your top 10 so far. Well, a safety car and lots of action, and we're only 7 laps in. Down the Snake leads the way then, as this 4-car battle for the lead continues on. So there is your race leader in the Toro Rosso. 4 different cars battling for the lead of the race as we head through the turn 8 section here. We're running aboard now with Pitmat as he makes his way through 9 and then through 10. That is the OG there getting a little bit out of shape going through that twisty section there. And perfect opportunity for Igo Champ to sniff him out. He smells blood. Can he get the move done then? We're going to have a battle down this long straight then. Are they all going to be in DRS range? I'm having a thought that they are. And keeping an eye on this battle as well as battles further behind. We've got Jake there, only 2 tenths behind Alex Musica. But he hasn't really got a place to do it until turn 16. If he wants to dive it down the inside, he can. But now, no more ultra soft runners. Elite Game Boy came in to put on a set of soft tyres. And you can see now the DRS trying to take effect. And that is Pitmat. We're right on board with him then as he's closing and closing on down the snake. Down the inside he goes. You can hear the car scraping across the ground as Pitmat goes down the inside into turn 1 and he takes the lead. But I don't think that's the only lead change that's going to happen in this race. As we see there, Pitmat take the lead down the snake. Obviously won't have DRS, so he'll be under pressure once again from... oh, he does have DRS. My apologies. There is a second detection point. But he is closing in on Pitmat once again with that DRS. Lap 8 of this Grand Prix, and Pitmat now is your race leader. Meanwhile, Sergey is a man on a mission. He set the fastest lap of the race. He's now up into P6, having overtaken the Roadhouse here. And now his next target is Gwiggs. Looking back at battles further down the field, we've got Mighty Bucket there. Trying to chase down Lakitu with Jake there losing out to the Mighty Bucket, but he'll want to try and get a move back at him. Meanwhile, Chrome Nexus here in the DRS zone fighting against Alex Musica. Alex Musica is on a set of ultra soft tyres. Odd strategy from him there, but maybe he knows something we don't, as they both come together and Chrome Nexus goes into the wall. Now, does he have any damage to that right hand side of his front wing? I don't think he's done. I don't think he does. So very lucky to come away there with no damage whatsoever. Very close between those two. And Demon, the championship leader, finds himself last of the runners. A nightmare for him so far, but look at this. Oh, that was Igo Champ getting out of shape on the exit of turn 16, but he has that DRS zone to recover. Now the OG here has got to be careful. He's now 9/10 down. He will cross that DRS detection point. It's within DRS range, and he does, so open it goes. But we've got a battle for the lead here down the snake. Closing and closing on Pitmat, but it's not enough. Pitmat will hold on to the lead of the race for now then. Down the snake in second, OG in third. Igo Champ coming very close to the wall on the right hand side there on the exit of turn 1. And I think his life flashed before his eyes there, as he came very, very close to that barrier. Mighty Bucket then. Look at this then. 7/10 down on Lakitu here as Jake pits in. Lots of different strategies going on. It's been a bizarre race so far, but maybe Jake had a little bit of damage. Not quite sure, but Mighty Bucket here is closing in on Lakitu here. And he's going to try it. Is he down the inside? Lakitu locks up. Those red arrows would have appeared out of nowhere for Lakitu, and he had to... well, he locked up, and they make contact there, and the Mighty Bucket here is going to find a way past Lakitu. He rather gives him the position there, and Mighty Bucket then finds himself up into P9 with Lakitu down to P10. Well, Sergey here, I mentioned before, is a man on a mission, and he's closing in on Gwiggs here. And on those super soft tyres, I think he still has to make one more stop in this race. If that's the case, we'll have to look at Igo Champ as well, who's right on the tail of the OG. And the OG runs into the wall, and then Igo Champ runs into the back of him. He's lost that chunk of front wing. That's a disaster for Igo Champ, but has he got enough aero here to keep going? He's got a DRS zone to help him out here, but before that is this long, high-speed section that will feel like it's going on forever. Still full throttle, though. Fair play to Igo Champ as he tries to round through this section here. Now into the DRS zone we go. And you can see he's already pulling over to the right. Does he pit in? Yes, he does. Doesn't take the risk and decides to pit in on lap 10. Meanwhile, that's a battle happening behind. And that is Igo Champ. Sorry, that is Gwiggs and Sergey here. And Sergey gets up into P4. Sergey is having the race of his life at the moment as he takes the move into P4. And Gwiggs down to P5 now. Meanwhile, battle for the lead here as down the snake trying to close in on Pitmat then as we head towards turn 3 for the 10th time in this race. So much has happened so far, and we're not even at half distance yet. This is absolutely brilliant. There's drama happening all over the track. We've got yellow flags in sector 1. We'll have to see if there's any down arrows to give us an idea of who it could be, but nothing. So the yellow flags come in, so I guess we'll never know who that could have been. Alex Musica here, looks like he's closing in on his teammate. Now, the Williams teammates here so far haven't had a great day. And will there be team orders? Yep, Shawnee there. Oh, that's Alex Musica locking up majorly there. Missed his braking point and goes straight on at turn 3. Unbelievable. Well, it looked like Shawnee there was going to brake early and let him through, but, well, Alex Musica just locked up, missed his braking zone completely. Sergey here, right on the tail of the OG. Expect fireworks here the night before Guy Fawkes night. Sergey here, right on his tail. as we head through the high-speed section. And can Sergey get onto the podium here? It looks like the Renault's going to defend hard as we head through. Now, is the OG just going to submit here? I haven't got really a camera angle, but there you go. Sergey is going for it. But the OG comes into the pits anyway, as does Dan the Snake. So these super soft tyres look like they're lasting around about 10 laps. But you can see the sun starting to poke through now. So Pit Matt leads then. That's going to put Sergey up to second. Griggs in third. The Roadhouse in fourth then. Remember, Griggs is on a set of soft tyres, so he won't be too concerned about Sergey getting past him there. But he's just playing the long game there. No, he doesn't have to battle for too much for position. And we're riding on board here at the moment with the Mighty Bucket. He's trying to chase down Jammy James for P5 at the moment. Lakitu is behind them, but starting to fall back a little bit. He's out of DRS range at the moment, so he'll be looking to hope that these guys start battling so it draws him closer into the battle. Lap 11 of this Grand Prix. Pit Matt leads from Sergey and Griggs. Cronexus trying to chase down Demon for P14. We've also got Jake trying to chase down Alex Musica for P16. So there are battles happening all over the track here. And it's really difficult to pick which battles to actually stay on board with. I know the one I pick is the one, the other one I'm going to miss, if that makes any sense. It's always the curse that I have. I always pick the wrong battle when a move's being made. However, I'll do my best to try and cover everything in this race, as well as look at all the gaps. The closest battle right now is this one, riding on board with Mighty Bucket and Jammy James, 0.8 of a second, but it's the closest battle by not really a huge margin. Cronexus and Jake trying to chase down their respective opponents there. Lakitu only 1.2 seconds behind this battle. You've got Dan the Snake there, who rejoined in 8th place from his pit stop. Remember, that was a scheduled stop. Nothing to do with any damage. You can see the Mighty Bucket there coming very close to the left-hand side wall there. That's Pit Matt coming in. He's done 11 laps on those tyres, and he goes on to a set of soft tyres, and that should get him to the end of the race then. So that means Sergey takes the lead on his set of super soft tyres. He did stop under the safety car. So that is one thing to note. There's Pit Matt coming out of the pits then, and he is well ahead of Dan the Snake. So Pit Matt then jumps Dan the Snake in the pits, and he's actually put a car in between himself and Dan the Snake, and Dan will be furious there. Oh, here comes the Mighty Bucket up the inside of Jammy James into turn 3, and he's got the move done. Fantastic move from the Mighty Bucket. Real Daniel Ricciardo-esque as he just dives down the inside, takes the position, and Jammy James, there wasn't a lot he could do. As Pit Matt now can't afford to lose any time behind Jammy James as he looks to try and chase down Sergey and Griggs. But the real overtaking opportunity is the long straight, but that's well over a minute away. But you can see now they're going to be single file through the castle section, riding on board with Jamie Jameson as he heads up the hill through the castle section into 9 and then through turn 10. As you can see there, Pit Matt just starting to drop back a little bit. He knows he doesn't have to battle, as that's the Force India running very wide there. That was the key to getting very wide on the exit there. But you can see Jamie James isn't done with the Mighty Bucket at all there. As we now head towards turn 15, Mighty Bucket taking a huge amount of curb there, but seems to make it work. He's got the car set up to just attack those curbs. And we head through turn 16 now, and we're able to see quite a few battles emerging here. You watch out for that Force India of Lakitu and that Toro Rosso of Dan the Snake. Dan the Snake is not going to waste any time trying to get past. He knows the Pit Matt is ahead, and he's got to get past him. Will Dan the Snake then make the move then? He's got the DRS, he's got the slipstream, 349 kph as the maximum there, as he makes the move on Lakitu there, down into turn 1, even before the braking zone, and he's got the move done. Pit Matt up to P6, only half a second now. Oh, as that's James locking up heavily, and he's into the wall. Is there damage on that Ferrari? Hard to tell from that angle. But Jamie James there, losing out, locking up, going into turn 3. And that's going to cost him a lot of time, because here comes Igo Champ. Look at that. Even though Jamie James had the DRS there, he just submitted to Igo Champ. And, well, Jamie James now down to P11. So then, Pit Matt has got a clear sight of the Mighty Bucket. Of course, the Mighty Bucket has stopped under the safety car and put on a set of soft tyres, so he might be looking to try and use some super soft tyres towards the end of the race. And that was look at how close they come to that wall. So narrow, that section. It's amazing how they get through there every single time with no issues. Alex Musica here is having a ding-dong battle with Jake here. He's only 3/10 back, and you can see him on the ultra soft tyres. They will start to wear much more than Jake's soft tyres. But Alex Musica will have the tyre advantage for sure as you get up the hill through the castle section. That's where that sign can just about blind you and put you off your braking point there. Pit Matt, though, trying to chase down the Mighty Bucket 0.6 of a second. He will have the DRS. No Mercedes advantage here. It's all equal cars, remember, as we head into the DRS zone. In the slipstream goes Pit Matt. Will he pull a Mighty Bucket move on the Mighty Bucket? No. Doesn't quite have the nerve, and don't think he was close enough to try it. As Pit Matt now heads up towards turn 2. Both locking up there, and the Mighty Bucket is into the wall. Pit Matt's opportunity. He senses it. Dives to the left-hand side with the DRS open. And can the Mighty Bucket do anything towards turn 3? Well, he's going to give it a good go. And they're side by side now through turn 3. As now we head towards turn 4. The Mighty Bucket has the inside line, but they run into each other. Little bit of contact there. But Pit Matt makes the move. And he's up to P4. That's exactly what he needed. And now the Mighty Bucket, well, he fought hard for that position. He didn't want to let it go. But Pit Matt there just had the better line. And he's up a place now, up into P4. Watch out now for Dan the Snake then, who will be looking to try and make a similar move. He knows he has to dispatch of the Mighty Bucket as soon as possible here. And Alex Musica, and that's Lakitu's out. Lakitu is out, and there's the casualty in turn 8. And it's called out Elite Game Boy. And whether or not Lakitu's car has ghost, there's a virtual safety car to recover Lakitu's car. And Lakitu is the first victim of the turn 8 castle section. It looks like he's locked up going in there. And that is the end of his race. Well, heartbreak for him, but the virtual safety car might enable some of them. Yeah, here comes Sergey into the pits. Now, what does Griggs do? Griggs stays out. Roadhouse, though, looks like he's coming in, trying to take advantage of the virtual safety car then. So Griggs will take the lead of the race under the virtual safety car. And the Roadhouse picks up a 5-second stop-go penalty. That won't be allowed to be added to his current pit stop. He'll have to wait. Oh, no, Griggs is into the wall. I don't believe it. Under the virtual safety car, Griggs locks up and goes straight on at turn 2. Well, he wanted to play the long game, but that long game may have been cut short significantly. We've got the virtual safety car ended. That's why the DRS was enabled again. Down the Snake, though, now trying to defend from Pit Matt here as we now head towards turn 3. Mighty Bucket, though, putting up a fight. And, well, Pit Matt actually finds himself behind now. Now, how did that happen? Dan the Snake finds himself back in front of Pit Matt there. So Dan the Snake must have made a move under the green flags after the virtual safety car. And he's now in prime position now to take advantage and try and find a way past the Mighty Bucket here. So our first retirement came on lap 14 of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. And turn 8 claims a victim here in season 16 in F3 PS4. Look at that Dutch angle as the cars fly their way through down towards turn 15. That's a lock up there from the Mighty Bucket, and he's into the wall. He's got a 5-second stop-go penalty. So if he doesn't stop again, he has to serve that at the end of his race. It'll be added on to his end of the race time. So Pit Matt then could have had a good opportunity, but instead that opportunity has been handed to Dan the Snake. Then into the slipstream he goes. The Toro Rosso could have a huge advantage here. He's now in the slipstream, pulls to one side with the DRS wide open here. Toro Rosso versus Red Bull. Will the Mighty Bucket try and stick it up the inside? He will, you know. And Dan the Snake leaves him plenty of room to do it, but Dan the Snake takes second place away. And that's Griggs into the pits. He's gone onto a set of super soft tyres. And look at this. Sergey here took full advantage of the virtual safety car. He rejoins in the lead of the race. And now Dan the Snake has to make this move on track if he's going to make it. How good is Sergey's defending? We're about to find out. This race has just been all over the place. haven't really been able to tell who is going to grab the win here, because there's Sergey going through, down the Snake second, Mighty Bucket third, Pitmat in fourth, the OG in fifth, Igo Champ sixth, Elite Game Boy seventh, Roadhouse eighth, Solid Ninja Snake ninth, and Shawnee B is in 10th. And that is your top 10 point scorers so far in this race. But still, we have 11 laps to go. We've seen how much drama there has been in the last 16 laps. We still have 11 of them. We look further down the field then. The pole sitter, Shawnee, finds himself down in P10 at the moment, trying to chase down Solid Ninja Snake, who started P2. So for the both of them, this hasn't been a great day, but they still have 11 laps to go. The Roadhouse here finds himself safely up the road from his teammate as he looks to try and close in on Elite Game Boy here as we head towards turn 15. And you can see all the buildings really in the way, obscuring the view then. But Pitmat here, oh, that's Mighty Bucket loses it. Mighty Bucket has a huge moment there. That back end just absolutely lost it. And has he got any damage, I wonder, onto that car? It would be amazing if he didn't have any damage on that Red Bull there. Still trying to defend as hard as possible. He may have lost the position to Pitmat, but that could have ended so much worse for him. Here comes the OG then, up the inside. No, he backs out of the move then. Well, huge heart in mouth moment there for the Mighty Bucket, but he just about holds on to the car and stays in P4. Roadhouse then trying to chase down Elite Game Boy then. Here we go then, into the DRS zone, riding on board with the McLaren and Renault driver as we head up towards turn 3. And here's the Roadhouse then, trying to go down the inside. And will he make the move stick? And yes, he will. And I don't think Elite Game Boy made that too difficult for him, as Roadhouse is, of course, on a different strategy. Shawnee B, and there's Griggs there, who ran into the wall at turn 2. He's got a major recovery drive to do here, but look at this, he's trying to go around the outside, going into turn 5, and then turn 6 makes contact with Shawnee B, and Shawnee B is into the wall. Side by side through turn 6 never works, and Shawnee B runs into the wall and gets front wing damage there, and he has to stop again. It's been a nightmare race for the Williams here, and it's not going to get any better, it looks like. And now he has to limp back to the pits to get a new front wing. That is heartbreaking for Shawnee. Had such good pace, but it's just not gone his way today. Demon, meanwhile, finds himself in P15 behind Crow Nexus as we head towards the castle section. As you can see there, Demon a little bit not confident on the brakes there as he headed towards turn 8 and then up the hill. Had to back out of it, had a slide on, had to recover it. We've got the OG here trying to chase down the Mighty Bucket. We've also got Griggs here trying to chase down Solid Ninja Snake. Griggs here on a massive recovery drive. He knows these moves have to count one after the other. Here comes Griggs then down the inside, and it looks like with that DRS, will Solid Ninja Snake put up a fight? To be fair to him, no, he didn't. So Griggs then will take P9 away. The OG meanwhile chasing down the Mighty Bucket. And the Mighty Bucket here has been on those laps for 14 tyres. That's good commentary, Kieran. He's been on those tyres for 14 laps. So fair play to him. And he's still up the field in 4th place. The longer he runs, though, on those tyres, the more time he's going to lose. But the question is, when is the perfect time to switch over to a set of super soft tyres? Well, with I believe that is 9 laps to go. It's looking like it should have been and gone. But I don't know, though. That's why I'm in the commentary box and not out there on track. Mighty Bucket then still looking good on those tyres, though. He's still got the gap between himself and Pitmat. It's still 0.8 of a second, and as long as he stays in DRS range, he's able to keep these tyres in good nick. So we head through now this high-speed section. Mighty Bucket had a big moment here a couple of laps ago. Yellow flags in sector 2, and is that involving Demon? Let's have a look, and it is, yes. Lost in the castle section. Reverse is well out of the way, and well, I don't think there could have been a worse race for Demon, to be honest with you. Has he got any damage to that car? I'm not sure, difficult to tell from that angle. As there's Igo Champ there. I thought he lost the back end, but held the car well there. The OG here, still trying to chase down the Mighty Bucket. And we head towards turn 3. And, well, Pitmat has not been able to exactly pull away from the Mighty Bucket then, as Dan the Snake is in second. But who could have predicted this with 8 laps to go? Sergey leads the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, and he just, well, he had that advantage of taking a pit stop in the virtual safety car, and that allowed him to just rejoin ahead of Dan the Snake. So it was an incredible call from Sergey to just stay out until that virtual safety car. Of course, obviously he doesn't know it's going to happen. You just have to sometimes be in the right place at the right time, and for Sergey it's working out so far. And well, still quite a way to go. Not over till that checkered flag falls, but a healthy buffer of 2 seconds at the moment as Demon has to come in. So does Sean. And it's just been a nightmare for those two, hasn't it? It really hasn't gone their way at all. As we come into the closing stages of this Grand Prix. With any moment now, we'll have 7 laps to go as Sergey will cross the line. And look at this, the OG here. You can see how much better those tyres are. 8-lap old softs against 15-lap old softs. Here comes the OG then. You can hear the car scraping across the ground. And he doesn't have enough. Look at this. That is how much aero Mighty Bucket isn't running. Because even with the DRS, OG couldn't find his way past. But he's going to go around the outside of turn 1. And that is a fantastic move from the OG. Mighty Bucket here might have a look up the inside. No, he doesn't. The OG then takes 4th place away from the Mighty Bucket. He just stuck it around the outside, made it stick. That is a great move from the Renault driver. But the Mighty Bucket isn't done there. Will he try a move up the inside? Yes, he will. Well before. Look at that. Just on the brakes so much later than the OG there. And able to take 4th place straight back. This is a great battle that's developing here for 4th place. And this is going to frustrate the OG. Because, well, the Mighty Bucket here, with every lap that passes, let's have a look. Well, the Mighty Bucket's actually stopped twice. So actually, he could be going to the end of the race. Well then. That opens up things. He's done 16 laps on those soft tyres. Are they going to make it to the end of the race? He's still got to do 7 laps on them. So that will take his tyre life up to 23 laps towards the end of the race. Oh, it's going to be nip and tuck for the Mighty Bucket. He'll be holding on for dear life towards the end of this race, especially with that tyre wear. But these two are still going to do it. Hammer and Tong. Oh, that's the Mighty Bucket. Runs into the wall. Does he get any damage? If he does, it's very light green. Didn't see any debris come off there, but you've got the OG now who's sensed blood. As we head through this high-speed section here, the Mighty Bucket has already lost it once through here. He doesn't want to do it again. Riding on board with the OG, with the DRS. And look at this now. He's got to stay in the slipstream for as long as possible before he pulls out here. And this time, it looks like he's got a better run down towards turn 1 here. But the Mighty Bucket is still going to slip it up the inside, but he can't quite do it. Didn't have the grip there. And the OG once again takes back P4. But watch Elite Game... watch the Mighty Bucket as he comes down to the DRS zone then. It's because I'm watching the other battle trying to develop here. I'm trying to watch 2 battles. But here comes the Mighty Bucket then. Will he try and move around the outside? Yes, he will. Much later on the brakes and into the wall. There goes some debris. The Mighty Bucket just came too close to the wall once again. And lost a bit of front wing there. Now he might run to the end of the race. Meanwhile, off screen, Griggs has got ahead of Elite Game Boy. And we've got Yellow Flag Sector 2. Not sure who it was. But by the looks of it, it looks like it was Sean who's visited the wall once again. And, well, this is 4 stops for him. This might be a 5th stop. Well, sometimes when it's not your day, it really just isn't your day. And, well, I have to say fair play to Sean and Demon for sticking to this race and hoping that a late safety car would appear. But the morale between those 2 drivers must be so low right now. And in fact, well, Demon tries to get a little bit of a victory today. He set the fastest lap of the race, a 1:40.4. But Sean, will he try and pit in? Yes, he will. This will be his 5th stop of the race. And I don't know whether he's going to carry on or not. But in any case, this is what the positions look like right now. How about that? Lap 22, 5 laps to go. Sergey has moved up 14 positions from his starting grid. That is absolutely sensational. That is a driver of the day performance right there. And Sean has retired in the pits. He's had enough for today and packs up hit the wall too many times, and he's decided to call it a day with 5 laps to go. Pole sitter out of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Well, the Haas driver here, it was an outside chance that Sergey would even come close to a podium, but he's proving me wrong, that's for sure. And well, he's looking like he could try and make these tyres last. And where is the mighty bucket? There he is. He's got that front wing damage, so he hasn't stopped. But Igo Champ here, look at this, he senses the opportunity. He's not going to try up the inside of turn 7 because it's so narrow on the exit. And then through turn 8, he's going to have to follow him all the way through. And Igo Champ on much fresher, soft tyres. You can see here, he senses there's something not quite right with the Mighty Bucket's car. It's not taking the corners as it would do. And here goes Igo Champ then as he tries to find his way through. And the Red Bull being very defensive here. We head towards turn 15. Trying to take that curb there. And the Mighty Bucket's still taking that curb, even though it was the very curb that helped him lose that front wing in the first place. Igo Champ here down the DRS straight. Well, Mighty Bucket might have a little bit of straight line speed, a bit more of it with less of a front wing, but you can see through the corners there. Oh, Igo Champ runs into the wall. We'll have to see if that does any damage to the car there. But the Mighty Bucket goes defensive, and I don't think there's a lot Mighty Bucket can do, but he will try and outbrake him. Going towards turn 1, you can see there, still side by side, but no, Igo Champ slams the door, runs a little bit wide, but he has got P5 and moves ahead of the Mighty Bucket. Jake further down the field, doesn't have DRS, not quite closed in on Jamie James just yet, as we head into the closing stages of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Your podium at the moment is Sergey, Dan the Snake and Pitmat, separated by just under 3 seconds. Watch out for this battle as it develops, as Jake has come into the pits. Maybe he couldn't make those soft tyres last to the end of the race. But you see here Pitmat really trying to put some pressure on Dan the Snake to make a mistake. As up the hill they go. Well, Sergey here made the absolutely fantastic call. Still 4 laps to go, well 3 and a bit if you're picky. We head towards turn 15 for the 23rd time in this race, with Sergey in the lead. Dan the Snake there is coming under increased pressure from Pitmat. And this battle for second place could ignite even more. And Sergey will be hoping it does. He's kept the gap. He's managed that gap to a healthy 2 seconds. But with the more that these two battle, the further that gap increases. And the OG has left the session. Oh no, that's terrible news. Well, he's a ghost car for now, and he'll be cruising round. Oh, that's terrible news for the OG then. Well, Dan the Snake here, still 2 seconds back. As off screen there, the Roadhouse battling away with the Mighty Bucket, heading down this long straight. 3 laps to go, and the OG has joined back in. Roadhouse there couldn't quite get past the Mighty Bucket, but look how much more traction he has out of turn 1 as we head towards turn 2 now. He's got the inside line, and he's got the move done. And who has the DRS in that battle, I wonder? It's neither of them. Neither of them have DRS there. So they must have crossed the line at exactly the same time, and that means the Roadhouse is able to keep that position then. He's now up into P6. Heading towards turn 7 then, as Pitmat still tries to put some pressure on Dan the Snake. We've got yellow flags in sector 3, and I'm having a keen look out to see who that could be. I can't see anything just yet. That would give us an indication. That might be a lap car trying to get out of the way though. Yellow flag, sector 2, and Igo Champ is out. Igo Champ. Oh no, he's got the stadium section wrong, the castle section wrong. So Igo Champ is out. Both Force Indias fall victim to the castle. That's unbelievable. Igo Champ was running quite well in this race, but the castle section has claimed its second victim of the day. And Igo Champ retires from the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. So infuriating. I know that feeling, to retire so late on after the race, but that's what happens. Sometimes that happens. Well, the Roadhouse there gets up into P4. Meanwhile, this is a battle between the OG, Griggs and the Roadhouse here. And how they all got through that with clean front wings, I'll never know. But here comes the Mighty Bucket then with the DRS. Trying to find a better camera angle if I can. The OG comes into the pits though. And the Mighty Bucket then defending well from Gwiggs then. 2 laps to go. Pit Matt trying to increase that pressure, ramp it up as much as he can. But look at that ERS battery. It's not looking good at the moment. He has to harvest that energy as much as he can and then use all that energy down the straight. That's exactly what's happening here. Trying to put it in the lowest setting possible. And maybe Sergey's got the call from the garage to just cruise home, take it to the end, but keep it above 1 second, the gap. Let's have a look at Sergey then as he heads towards the castle section. He only has to get that section right one more time. Down the snake then, still holding on to P2, and he's ramped up the pressure then. 1.5 the gap to Sergey here. There goes the top 3 through the picture then as they head down towards turn 15. And you can see there's Sergey coming close to the wall there. As now he comes into turn 16 for the penultimate time in this race. They're now heading through this high speed section. And let's have a look at down the snake and Pit Matt now. Pit Matt will have the DRS. He's had the DRS now for a couple of laps and hasn't been able to do anything with it. So let's see what Pit Matt can do then. 4 tenths down into the slipstream he goes. And look at this. Pit Matt has been closer than ever before. It looks like he could try and make a move. He's going to have to go round the outside towards turn 1. Can he make that move at last? No, he can't. Down the snake slams the door shut. And, well, he can't find a way past. And look how close Pit Matt is. He'll have a second burst of DRS here as we head up towards turn 3. And once again, will he try and move down the inside? He's thinking about it. Wants to make the move, but no, he doesn't. Doesn't make the move, but he locks up onto the curb there. And these two battling. That's good news for Sergey. He's just able to build that gap and keep pushing on. As now we head through into 5 and 6. Sergey here started P15 in this race. After 26 laps, or well, 25 and a half, he currently leads the race. Did anybody see this coming? I certainly didn't. I said there could be a surprise result on the cards here. But Sergey here, who started, of course, P15, has only a couple of corners to negotiate now. He's got down the snake and Pit Matt battling behind as well. So Sergey here, turn 15 he goes. Now down the hill towards turn 16. And that heart rate must be so high right now. It's been so tough, so demanding this race. Those two in the background are still squabbling for position. But for Sergey, arguably a driver of the day performance. He's only got a couple of corners to negotiate then. As we head towards the line then. Sergey has got just this straight to go. He's already weaving. He knows he's done the job. Sergey here is going to win round 4 in Azerbaijan. And what a drive from Sergey. Dan the Snake finishes in second. Pit Matt only just third place. 2 tenths in the end. Just couldn't quite make the move stick there. The Roadhouse then coming towards the line. He'll finish the race in P4. Great result for him. And that's 5 seconds added. So that means Gwiggs will jump him. Gwiggs up to P4 then. As that's Elite Game Boy and the Mighty Bucket fighting across the line. And the Mighty Bucket had his 5 seconds stop go added on. So that means Elite Game Boy will jump the Mighty Bucket. Solid Ninja Snake then. P2 on the grid, fallen to P8. What might have been for Solid Ninja Snake. He'll come home in P8 then. Jammy James at P9 in the Ferrari. Couple of points for him as the OG's retired from the session. So he retires in P9. So he might get the points there. I'm not entirely sure. As Demon there. Let's have a look where he is. He scrapes the wall once again, and it's just been a race to forget for him. And he'll just want this race to be over so that he can move on to the next round. Well, he negotiates the final few corners. And he'll be absolutely done with this race as he heads towards the line. His head's already down for the next round. And won't be long now before he can cross the line and write off this race completely. He does set the fastest lap of the race though. He can take that away from him as Alex Musica now heads towards the line to take the final finishing position of P14. But what a race we had. And who saw this coming? The winner of the Azerbaijan F3 Grand Prix is Sergey. Well, he's earned that one. That's fair to say. P15 he qualified. Second to last in the session. And look at that. He must be very happy with that one. Sergey, then, your winner of round 4. So, as the clouds set on Azerbaijan, here are your official, unofficial results. Sergey then wins the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Dan the Snake in second. Pitmat in third. Griggs is in fourth place. Roadhouse in fifth. Elite Game Boy in sixth. The Mighty Bucket seventh. Solid Ninja Snake eighth. The OG didn't finish, but he will claim ninth place. Jammy James in 10th. Cronexus 11th. Jake in 12th. Demon in 13th. Alex Musica 14th. Igo Champ 15th, but did not finish. Shawnee B, pole sitter, did not finish, and Lakitu did not finish either. So both Force Indias into the wall at turn 8. The castle section taking both Force Indias out of the race, and heartbreak for them. 0 points for the Force India team, and Shawnee there deciding not to take any further part with 5 laps to go after making his 5th stop of the race. Well, apparently I'm going back into the multiplayer. But there we go. Maybe it wasn't finished yet. I don't know. Maybe we're going to do it all again. Oh, I didn't think I could cope with that. What an amazing race we had in that one. That was absolutely amazing. Oh dear. It's the game's crashed. Oh well, what can you do?